truth, no halt. 2D talk sense, keep the culture on vault. Politics, humor, mix it raw in the stew. Breaking down the news like she's slicing a cube. Come on, y'all, let's discuss, that's the frame. Dropping hitters, tweets, putting lame to shame. Hilarious for real, got the nation on the buzz. Got them tuning in like they addicted to the love. She the queen of the trends, no fake, no frauds. Unpacking every topic, flipping all the odds. From city lights, sparking to the Capitol walls. Tootie got the mic, they just stalling in the hall. She a vibe, make Chicago proud on the route. Windy City wit, knocking all the clout out. Raw but so rich, intellect on the brim. Swimming through the chaos, never decrease the dim. Come on, y'all, let's discuss, that's the frame. Breaking it down, keep it sharp like a blade. Hilarious for real, got the nation on the buzz. Tootie talk sense, spreading heat like the sun. Kanye level antics.
Hey y'all, hey, is that coming through? Because it was not coming through at all. Hello.
Hey y'all, hey,
okay.
Is that
Yeah.
coming through?
Okay.
Because it was not coming through.
I said I don't know if I'm gonna have to reschedule this because the internet is acting funny. And I just seen that it's on the computer. It says a tornado watch, but I don't know what area it's in. But that's probably why the internet is kicking in and out. So we're supposed to be talking about forgiveness today, right? And I was going to show you the video because I talked about it previously with Funky Dineva and Claudia Jordan. You know, they had reunited at Essence Fest. So y'all go back and watch that video because I had said that to me, Funky Dineva didn't apologize and he didn't say he apologized. Well, his video was titled is that Funky Dineva extends the olive branch to Claudia Jordan. And I said at that time that, this ain't no apology. Like as loud as you was saying, my problem is with Claudia Jordan. I thought if I was Claudia, I would have told him you could take that olive branch and shove it right up, because baby, now you want to come together. And then even in the Essence Fest thing, he was talking about like what he would like to see happen in equal pay and things of that nature. Baby, can we get through the apology first? And the equal pay when she was the one who created the show. What are we really talking about right now? But let me see. But we already discussed that, so y'all can go look at the video from, it wasn't today. It wasn't the last video I did today was at 11. So then it's the previous video where we discussed the Funky Dineva thing. So then what had happened was, y'all, what had happened is that Claudia has a show called Accidentally Informed, I believe is the title, a YouTube channel with her and the lady Erica. So Funky ends up coming on that channel. And I'm trying to pull up the video because, yeah, exactly what I said is exactly what it is. He ain't uttered, I'm sorry. He ain't uttered. What he was saying was that it is both our fault and everybody got a part to play and everybody have blame and everybody Negro. Funky doesn't even has close to 500,000 subscribers that you had formed up against to go against Claudia. When I said from the beginning it was Al Reynolds' messy ass, but he had Al Reynolds back against Amon. He had Al Reynolds back against Funky. My problem is with Claudia Jordan, and you done got all these subscribers pretty much almost a 500,000 people up in arms against this lady. Then you gonna come over here and talking about some, oh well, we ain't gonna discuss it, we just gonna move forward. The fuck we is. That's I was the fuck we is gonna just move forward. Water under the bridge. That no, we're not. Way in the water. You would have had to run that back, sir. But let me see if I can find the video. I had sent it to myself. Is this it? Let me see it. But if not, I will just go through the notes and then y'all can watch the video later. If YouTube is gonna pull it up. Let's see. No, that's not it. Give me one more minute. Give me one more minute. I'm gonna try to see if I could just go to YouTube and pull it up that way. I think it's called accidentally informed. If I'm not mistaken, that's the name of the channel. It's not coming up either. Yeah, that's the name of it. Accidentally informed. And I didn't even know she had started a YouTube show. I want to take y'all to just two parts, and then we're gonna be in and out of here quick. But I will take y'all to these two parts. Then I'm like, yeah. If I was Claudia, I'm like, oh, he haven't changed, and he's not taking responsibility to nominate. Everybody had the part to play. Go over there, sound like Trump. And good people on both sides. Nah, no, that ain't what we ain't gonna do. We grown as hell. We gonna take accountability and responsibility over here. Because other than that, if you don't say what happened, you bound to repeat the same shit. And you're just gonna be start a new show and go on show his ass again and be like, my problem is with. So right here, there's going to be the lady Erica is going to take a question from the audience that's saying that Claudia should apologize. Which goes to my point that you have all your subscribers thinking that the problem is Claudia. Now you over here saying, oh, well, everybody had a part to play and we don't need to talk about it. I was like, no, because you got 500,000 subscribers, fam. You need to set this record straight. So Funky gonna tell her not to answer the question. And because that's just going to get people to go back and forth. YouTubers like me and like him and like her, that people are going to be talking about, and it's going to bring up water up under the bridge, and we need to just move forward. And I'm like, how you going to tell a grown-ass woman not to answer a question? That question was for her, sir. But okay, I better play it. Here you go, y'all.
Claudia, I'll start with you. Okay. Love me some Funky Dineva, but where was he wrong? Claudia should be apologizing. Didn't she betray him?
Don't answer that.
Well, in the comments, I did. I said,
Yeah, but I like, Erica, in all, I mean, we can go through them. I just don't think getting into the weeds of it all makes any sense at this point. What happened. People are going to feel what they feel. Claudia has her vantage point of what happened. I have my vantage point of what happened. Al has his vantage point of what happened, and it ain't changing. You know what I'm saying? All we can do is bury that. You know what I'm saying? And just choose to start anew. But I don't think getting into the minutia of audience comments and what folks got to say, I don't think that's the smartest thing to do at this time, in all honesty.
And I completely respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be very clear too. Claudia has not seen any of these questions.
I said, then he goes, you could tell Claudia actually seems like she's hurt by his response, because he goes into talking about, like he said, each person got a part to play and everybody to blame and blah, blah, blah. She goes into like, well, I didn't know that was the way that he felt. So I'm gonna see if I can get into that.
Because honestly, the reason why I'm asking these questions that just feels like maybe
I hear what you're saying. I think
just 4 sessions in with my dietitian, and I'm already
Get through
down 10 pounds.
That's loud.
I think with us moving forward, I think would be good probably for us is a conversation about anything that you had, I had without an audience.
Most definitely.
I think because I do think that there is no way to truly move on from things. Just so, oh, we're good, because things will just come right back, right? The first time something goes left, bitch, I knew you was like that, or I knew you. They told me you burned me again, and I do believe in having like I remember doing some reality shows with some people where I said, turn the cameras off because I want a real conversation with this person because I actually am trying to get through it. I'm not trying to have a moment. I'm not trying to have a viral moment. So I do feel like I would love to come down to Florida, or if you ever come to Dallas, and have a real.
you seem like the beef was really with the net.
And so she's going to address him saying my issues with Claudia Jordan. And she's trying to get him a way out, saying because Claudia had created the show, maybe you took it out on Claudia unnecessarily. He like, nope. He wouldn't even take the way out, which means he is not trying to admit that he was wrong in this at all. Like he's trying to just spread that blame on like it's butter, baby. We all finna get this toast buttered over here because I'm not gonna take no responsibility that nobody else is gonna take. But watch it and see what y'all think.
Network, and because Claudia was a part of the creative and production, were you conflating her with the network? Because we did hear you say that the problem was Claudia. I have to ask that.
Absolutely not. And in the moment, post the show, when I did my video and I said, I don't have a problem with so-and-so, my problem is with that damn Claudia Jordan. I meant it when I said it because it was. Because of things that had transpired post me leaving, or things that had gotten back to me, and things that I had witnessed and been a part of while I was there. Again, and I'm sure Claudia can say the same about me, that she had issues.
There's that Claudia over there blinking like the lady in Get Out, like, am I really here? This really fucking happening? Because you could it seems like she want to say more, but she's like, I'm gonna let it ride. But it do end up being like, wait, we didn't have problems when you left. Like, what are we talking about? And I said, for me, that's a person who is not willing to take accountability. So they're gonna make everybody have problems. Like we all had issues. No, motherfucker, you had issues
or problems or opinions. There's enough blame to go around. You know what I'm saying? And it was a.
See, she put the hand up. Interesting.
Cornucopia of things. It was not solely Claudia. It was not solely Al. And it was not solely the contract. If I'm being honest, it was the day-to-day bickering and crap that was going on in the background. That shit was getting on my nerve. Had they given me my $250, I would have sat through it. But it was like, to sit through that, I don't feel valued and I don't need this. I'm cool. I just rather have my peace and be at home by myself. I don't need it. And that was the blessing of it all. I did not need the job.
I'm taking it back. The part where you said that you're standing on saying that was me at that time, because when you left a really beautiful message for Al and myself. Mm-hmm. And I believed it, that I love y'all. We'll work together again. And we have some text messages where I said, we can even take this off of Foxhole and we can avoid a lot of the drama. I think a lot of that was that. So I thought you were just saying that in anger. And I actually thought you weren't going to stand on that. I feel like there was a lot of manipulation that was going on, and we don't got to get into that in front of everybody right now, that you weren't really getting the real exact story of everything. And I'll just leave it at that, because it went from love, I love you back, we're going to do this again, we're going to spin the block, to me being the villain in the story, where it was that damn Claudia Jordan. I'm like, wait, what? Because I was looking at my text thread with you where it was love outside of the cameras when it was just us. Mm-hmm. So that's when I said it's your thing. I was like, I was hurt, by that, because I'm like, wait, there was enough drama for us. We all have had some drama there, and we've all had our crash outs. We worked together for 3 years, 5 days a week. 3 years we did?
Yeah, that's about.
So, there's been times where I had to bite my tongue when you were acting unprofessionally. There was times where you had to bite your tongue when I was going off on Joyce. There was times when we both bit our tongues when Al was crashing out and doing his thing. So,
Okay. So
This is what Ivy universities you
Yeah.
can get in.
Is it the commercial? So y'all pretty much see the gist of it. Claudia was shocked. She just said, "I was taken back that you still saying this when I said she need to
It was a dysfunctional family. It
But the
was.
highs were really high,
They were.
and the lows, to me, weren't worse than the
don't
highs.
let history repeats itself because you are sitting there saying exactly that. Hey, we said we love you. We plan on working back together. Then you went on there and said, "Oh, it was that damn Claudia Jordan." And so I assumed that you were speaking from anger, but now you're telling me that you standing on it. But so yet it's still he still want to work together. So I feel like this is just gonna be history repeating itself if you get back in the same situation because there's no accountability as far as that. He's still saying that you that you was an issue then. So if he was able to you not even know that he had a problem with you and love and you trying to work things out behind the scene once he left to get him back on the show, or you and him and Al go have another whole show and you didn't know this whole time that he had a problem with you, even after this apology, this a year or something yet later, that he's still standing on, no, bitch, you was the problem. Baby, I don't know how I will believe what's coming out his mouth now as far as let's work together. And you just said you need the show, so you left. Well, what are we working together for? What are we talking about? I'm confused because what are we talking about? So I said I wanted to talk today with y'all about, do y'all think she should forgive him? And does forgiveness necessarily means working back with him? Because I'm a person who believes that I can forgive you, but I don't have to be back in your presence to forgive you. Because to me, forgiveness is typically for yourself. It's personal that you do. Like I'm not gonna hold on to this anger, this bitterness because this person hurt me. Because sometimes, especially if you're the person who's hurt, you're the only one thinking about it. Like you hurt, you cried. This person is out. They ain't thinking about it. They done moved on to the next one, whether it's a relationship, whether it's family, whatever. And you sitting over there, woe it's me, and trying to figure out why they did that. What behavior did you do, and how didn't you see the signs? And they ain't thinking about it. But it's affecting your life. So sometimes you need to forgive to let go and to move on in your life. So I looked up the definition of forgiveness because I said earlier that Neo's not going to be here because she's having internet issues. But she came from a different point of view about forgiveness, and I can't quote the sources. I know she said it's in the Bible. I can't tell you the scripture because I'm a heathen. So I know she said in the Bible the person has to ask for forgiveness in order to be forgiven. I don't believe that because what if people die and you ain't never had the conversation with them? So if that person is dead and gone, you finna still hold on. They ain't here to ask you for forgiveness. So I was thinking more of a psychological point of view. So I'm gonna show you this. It says, "What is forgiveness?" And I'm gonna read this to you. This is just an article, I think, in a just a psychology. I said psychological. I mean psychology point of view. So I'm gonna take that string down. I'm gonna show you the definition of forgiveness, and which is more of the way I feel about forgiveness. Psychologists generally define forgiveness as a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance towards a person or group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness. Just as important as defining what forgiveness is, though, is understanding what forgiveness is not. Experts who study or teach forgiveness make clear that when you forgive, you do not gloss over or deny the seriousness of an offense against you. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, nor does it mean condoning or excusing offenses. Through forgiveness, I mean, though forgiveness can help repair a damaged relationship, it doesn't obligate you to reconcile with the person who harmed you or release them from legal accountabilities. So that's truly my definition of it. Because I know a lot of times, especially to me in church where they are teaching the they're teaching you to stay up in a marriage, and they like, oh well, you guys should forgive each other and like move on. And like I said, I do believe if you want to go by the Bible, baby, you cheat, it's over. That's in the Bible. And people, well, that's bitter, and you supposed to stay because what God had put together, Lord, let no man tear apart. Hey, he tear it apart when he slept in that room, but I ain't finna go there. So I feel like in relationships, family, because sometimes family is toxic, friends are toxic, relationships can be toxic. I can forgive you and never have to talk to you again because the forgiveness is for me. I know some people ask for forgiveness because they did some fucked up shit and then they need it too in order to move on in their life. If I'm not mistaken, that's part of like AA, and when people go to rehab, one of the steps is going and asking for forgiveness for the person or people that you have harmed. But for me, if the situation is toxic, then one thing I truly believe is if a person don't see a problem with their behavior, what is there to change? And that's what to me, what Funky Dineva is displaying. He don't see a problem. Well, he say we all have done some wrong. So, what wrong have you done? And what do you need to apologize for? And then, like she said, and I said this in a previous video when the Essence Fest thing happened. Maybe they had a conversation because that apology he gave, it wasn't an apology. That olive branch he extended was not an apology. There was never a I'm sorry. That was like, oh, well, this has happened. Let's get over it. Let's work together. It wasn't as bad as that. And I was upset at the moment, type of thing. That was sound narcissistic to me, but sounds narcissistic to me. Not saying I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't diagnose the man. But that sounds like some real long. Let's spread this blame. I'd rather spread it than hold on to what I did and take full accountability of what I have done. Where it seems like Claudia Jordan was at the point where she's just like, okay, well, let's talk about what each person done because now I'm confused because I thought that that you was coming because you didn't mean what you said and you said it out of anger. You're like, meant it, and I'll say it again. How do y'all feel about forgiveness? Do you think the person have to come and ask for forgiveness? Or do you think forgiveness is for you, or is it for the person who's asking for it, or does it depend on the situation? Because there's some times in life, especially like abuse victims and things of that nature, where there's abuse, domestic abuse, child abuse, molestation, R word, you will never get an apology from the person who did it. And in those situations, I don't even know if the right word is forgiveness, because I don't know if you would necessarily forgive the person, but you will work and move through the behavior. You will work and move through what happened to you and learn how to deal with that trauma. Like the forgiveness that I have, like previous relationships that I have been in, whether the person cheated or whatever, I take time after each relationship to sit down and like really go over what happened. And like I would write in a book, a journal, I do all things to try to see what was my part that I played in this. And then typically, yes, sometimes you'll get the other person apologize. A lot of times you don't get people who apologize when they, or I don't. A lot of times I don't get people who have wronged me and they come apologize. A lot of times they'll just, you'll spend time not talking to each other, then it just will come back like, hey, how you doing? What's been going on all this time? Like, wait, hold, motherfucker, hold. And it's probably because I feel like once I found out I did something wrong to somebody, I'll apologize. Now, if I don't know I did something wrong, what is there to apologize for? But if you know you did something wrong, what is it killing you to apologize? Or even have the discussion? Because sometimes, and I don't even understand why Funky Dineva couldn't get to the point where he said, if he didn't feel like he did something wrong, but it's obvious you hurt that girl, that I'm sorry that you hurt. To me, that's a narcissistic apology, but at least you can give that. I'm sorry that you're hurt. I'm sorry my actions, my words hurt you. Because at least if you say I'm sorry that you're hurt, that's really sound, narcissistic to me. What would make it better? I'm sorry that my words hurt you. What you're taking a little accountability for what came out your mouth and how that affected somebody else. So I don't know, y'all. I'm not. I don't think. I think that she should forgive him when she feels like when it works for her. Not. I wouldn't put a time limit on it as far as like, hey, let's work together and stuff like. I definitely wouldn't work to him right now because it seems like she's still hurt. But I feel like she should forgive him when she feels like that's what she should do in her life. But then I don't necessarily know about dating hanging with somebody like that. Dating hanging with somebody who's not going to take accountability for the part that they played, or just going to spread the accountability. Just like, oh well, we all fuck up sometimes. I'm a Gemini. Hey, you know how us Geminis be. Yeah, it wasn't that big of a thing. Oh, and the last thing that I wanted to get y'all opinion on before we get out of here. I had this conversation with one of my friends before. We disagreed, but I feel like that parents should apologize to their kids. And she felt like that they should not. Your parents are your parents. They did what they need to do for you, whatever. But I feel like I have apologized to my kids when I have been wrong. I had a bad day. They annoy me. I'm yelling, even though what I'm, things I'm yelling for ain't necessarily something to be yelled at. It could be just, a very bad day, and them kids is when I didn't thought they did something that they didn't do, so I yelled at them. I said, my mom died. Both my parents died when I was young. But I would hope that once I have became an adult and we at a stage where we can talk, because you forget your parents were human beings. They made mistakes. They didn't do everything right. I, as a parent, am not doing everything right. But I try to have the door open that my kids come talk to me. And it's a catch-22, y'all. It's a catch-22. I got all girls, so I have to leave it open for them to come talk to me because shit happens to little girl. And they need to have somebody that they can come talk to with complete no judgment and complete honesty, and we're going to get down to the bottom of it. We're going to work this out. Now, baby, when I tell you them some independent women who tell you things, they're a little too honest sometimes. A little too honest sometimes, okay? And it's difficult. And it's hard work, especially when you grew up the way I grew up. Kids stay in kids' place. Watch who you're talking to. Who you talk to like that? Did you just roll your eyes? Did you huff? Did you suck your teeth? Like, so having these expressive as kids, sometimes it'll feel a little disrespectful. But I'm trying to teach them to express themselves. Baby, whew, Lord have mercy. But I don't do everything right. And I have apologized to them when it calls for it. And when I found out I was wrong or what I did or I yelled or whatever it was. If I'm wrong, I go and apologize to my kids. And like I was saying, I would hope that as an adult, when I became an adult, my parents we could have had conversations about why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why did you behave this way? Why did you behave that way? Because my parents was born in the 50s. Yes, 1950 and 1956. So they a lot of it was just having kids. Now I understand a lot of it, but not my dad. My dad was very quiet and into himself and didn't talk much. And he was a Gemini, which is weird. He's the most non-talking Gemini I ever ran across. Because I'm a Gemini too, and you can see I talk. But my mom, she was the one who disciplined. She was the disciplinary of the group. And being from the South and coming up the way she came up, and that's the way they discipline kids. I understand, but it would have been nice. It would have been nice, and I would hope that once I became adult, when we began to have conversations, I would have understood it better, and I would assume that she will apologize for some things that that happen, because it's hard for it's hard for you to truly understand your kid if you don't give them the opportunity and the space to come and talk to you. Is what I would say. But so I want to know, do y'all think that parents should apologize to their kids? Because I feel like that they should. And of course, you got some the parents who you just dead ass wrong. But I'm saying that if something happens to my kid that I didn't know what was going on, they come tell me 10 years later, and it was like, oh well, it was because I didn't come talk to you because you was napping off that day, blah 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 blah, or I'm in therapy right now because when I was a kid, the way you did this made me feel like blah blah blah. If you did it, then apologize. I don't understand. I don't understand what's the big thing. But my friend adamantly was against that. No, no, absolutely not. I don't have to apologize for shit she didn't do. You the role model, you the leader, right? As the parent, you the role model, you the leader. How you gonna raise a bunch of adults right now? They're kids. Kids grow up to be adults. You're gonna have a bunch of adults out here who don't know how to take accountability and don't know how to apologize when they wrong. We're gonna have a bunch of fucking funky Dinevas spread blame around, not taking accountability. Oh, y'all, let me stop. I better get up out of here, y'all. I said I was gonna drop the link. I will drop the link if you want me to drop the link, y'all want to come up. I'll drop it, but it doesn't seem like anybody wants me to drop the link. You let me know in the comments. I'll be here a couple more seconds, y'all. How y'all feel about that whole Funky Dineva and Claudia situation? Have anybody heard from Al? Is Al still over here doing red carpet events? Because that's the last time I heard from Al Reynolds. He was doing red carpet events, but Amon Wiggins had came and said, I think TGI Friday had tried to get him to do it, but they don't pay for anything. It's like, yeah, you'll have a TGI Friday pass or whatever to be on the red carpet, but they not paying for like your clothing. They not paying for your outfit. They not paying for like the hotel, the plane, nothing. So I'm like, that wouldn't even be worth it. But if they get back together, who would y'all want to see? Would you want to see the Al, Claudia, and Funky, the originals? As I said, I see new people coming in. You drop down and comment if you want me to drop the link. But would y'all want to see the original Al, Funky, and Claudia? Would you want to see Dustin, Funky, and Claudia? Would you want to see Amon, Funky, and Claudia? Would you want to see Claudia with somebody else? Because I like Flame when she was on there. I like Flame when she was on there. I wanted to see Mims because Claudia had put up T.S. Madison, Mims. I think Dustin was one of the ones she called out. Conscious TV is one of the ones she had put. But then they had, they wanted to go quick and they selected Armand quick, and we all know what happened with that. But is there another combination that you think Claudia should work with? I think Mims is good, and I think Dustin is good. Even if you had Dustin, Mims, and Claudia, I think that might even work out. I think that'll be a nice little if you're trying to do three. I think that'll be a nice little thing. And also, what do y'all think about forgiveness? I already asked y'all, do y'all think Claudia should forgive Funky, and do y'all think he should work with him again? But how do you handle forgiveness? Do you need the person to come and apologize and ask you for your forgiveness before you're able to forgive someone? Or do you just like, I can forgive, but I can forgive, but I ain't gonna forget? Who said that? The Tupac said? But or are you more like me, like I forgive? We don't even have to. I ain't even got to talk to you to tell you I forgive you. Because I honestly, in my life right now, there's nobody I don't like. Ain't nobody I hold a grudge against. There's some people that I don't talk to that I don't fuck with like that. But ain't nobody that I hold a grudge against. Even though people, if they call me and I got it, you can have it. Because there's nobody that I'm mad at. Like, life is too short. People are dropping out every freaking day. They dropping off the place they're just playing. People haven't even lived to get to the age that I'm at right now. I done lost people. Me and my husband graduating class. We done lost a lot of people. There's a list of people that we have lost, and we're still young. So I'm like, I don't know anything that's worth holding on to the thing, but I typically do learn a lesson. So I may like not ever, if you did something so wrong to me that we didn't stop talking or whatever, or that I feel like you didn't wrong me in some way, I may not mess with you on that level again. Say if it's money, I didn't let you borrow money. I ain't gonna like, it'll be like, okay, cool. I hope it was worth it. You ain't gonna never get another dollar, but we still can hang out. I'm not gonna be mad, nothing like that. We can still hang out. I ain't gonna trust you on that level. Yeah, I said I didn't heard that you talking behind my back or something like that. It ain't. I ain't gonna kick it with you like that. But still, if I see you out, and I told my husband this about me, I could be polite and cordial to any motherfucker, anybody, and I'm a talker. I could pretty much hold a conversation with anybody, but that don't mean I put you on that level. I don't know. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. I'm finna get up out of here because it's Friday and me and my husband finna have drinks. Okay. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Catch y'all next time. Bye. Oh, don't forget to like the video. Hit subscribe if you haven't. Hit all so you can see the notifications when I go live. And follow me on all social media, Tootie Talk Sense. Bye.
The night blade, yeah. Talk to. Yeah. Scroll in the tube, found a star in the chaos. Tootie spitting facts like a modern day seance. Trending waves, politics in the spotlight. Raw with the wit, hits you sharp like a frostbite. Come on, y'all, let's discuss her anthem, her creed. Breaking down the drama, uncovering the greed. Laugh through the truth, it's enlightenment with flair. Tootie talk sense, ain't no nonsense over there. Come on, we tuned into Tootie's vibe. High energy keeps the convo alive. From scandals to news, she hit it all bright. Tootie taking the mic like she owns the fight.